So at long last, we are recording.
Hey, we did it this time.
Hey, so welcome to episode 1.5 of Sensei's Dividing Talk. I'm Bobby, and on my wheel of Dans this afternoon, I'm joined by DanK. DanK, what's your favourite 5-mana green sorcery?
5-mana green sorcery.
Yeah.
All Sun's Dawn.
What does
All
that
Sun's Dawn.
What does that even do?
It's 4 and a green for a card that says return a card of each colour from your graveyard, then exile All Sun's Dawn.
That's the worst Seasons Past I've ever seen.
Yeah, but it was a couple years before Seasons Past, and that's 6 mana. You said 5.
Fair.
Oh, dear.
Can't win them all. Anyway.
But you know what? All Seasons Dawn. Forgot the name of the card already.
Wow.
I said it was my favourite, but you know what it works really well with?
Yeah.
Gold cards.
Wow, the harshest segue into Ravnica we've ever seen. So,
Yep. Not even so.
Wow. So how are you feeling about Ravnica?
I'm enjoying it. It seems cool. I was against it to begin with, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's strictly cool.
Like,
This is what, your first Ravnica, right?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't
But,
playing when
No,
Return
I
came out.
started late Pharos, early Khans.
I'm so sorry,
So-
even though that standard was great.
Yeah, but it was only great after Khans happened. So,
That was
You
great
know.
beforehand.
but I've heard lots of stories about old Ravnica. Well, middle Ravnica.
Middle Ravnica. Ravnica 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, that one. The
That one.
middle one.
The middle one.
A
The
couple of years from now, we'll be calling it Part 2 of 4. But, you
No,
know,
I can't see them doing Ravnica again for like another 10
What?
years.
I couldn't see them going back the third time, but here we are.
Here we are. Turns out that there's a surprising amount of design space.
Yeah, considering how boxed in it is.
Yeah, like there's 10 very distinct identities that you can't really change.
Although it looks like they're going to try with the third set of this block.
Well, it's because the third set's not a Ravnica set.
It's
just-
still set on Ravnica, though.
Yeah, but it's not.
There's
it's
gonna
not
be
about-
some Ravnican to it. It's
That'll
gonna be
be like-
about the guilds.
Yeah, but there's
No.
there's going to be like stuff in the art, and we're going to get like Legion Fighty Man.
And these people died, I guess. These
Yeah.
main characters. From whatever happens.
I think infinite main
Who
characters
knows?
are going to die in whatever the third set is called.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. What
They've-
is the third set called?
They've not named it because apparently it spoils what happens.
It's like Eldritch Moon all over again.
Yep.
The biggest shock ever. No one knew what was coming at all. They did it again. R&D fooling us.
I still think it was secretly Marit Large the entire time.
I kind of wished it was Marit Large or maybe Tybalt. You know?
What if Tybalt is just doing all of that?
Yeah. What if he's just causing the madness on Innistrad?
Tybalt shows some sort of power out of nowhere.
Okay, good point. That would be very Tybalt. But
Not at all. That involved Tybalt having a powerful card.
look, it'll happen someday. We'll get Tybalt back. Don't
It's-
you worry. It'll happen.
No,
It may be on Innistrad free Electric Boogaloo, but you know.
no. You don't get it. And you don't get a good Tybalt. We're never having one. He's not going to get printed again. Unless it's in
No,
like
it's not gonna
Commander. You're an edgelord, right?
I don't
You-
put it on my CV, but yeah.
Well, wouldn't look that professional on a CV, but you're an edgy meme lord, right?
Sure, why
So-
not?
So you're enjoying all of this like new fucking edgelord Demir art on every card ever,
Oh yeah, I love Demir. Demir's great.
like Blood Operative,
Ooh, yeah. It kind of makes me think of
Lifebane
Undead
Zombie.
Champion.
Okay, we've gone
No.
for we've gone for two very different cards here.
I can see where you're coming from. but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of because the way the Undead Champion comes back, but I see what you mean as well. Lifebane Zombie was what 3/1 lifelink, save mana cost.
Yeah, also like protection from green and white.
Yeah, that was back when cards could be good, like real good.
Yeah, it was great. It was the card they printed because Thragtusk was too good, and they printed Thragtusk because Vapor Snag was too good.
Yeah, I can believe that.
It's legit a thing they've admitted. They were like, okay,
Hmm.
so all these Delver decks are just like vapor snabbing and mana leaking and pondering everywhere. And we've got Snapcaster Mage now, so they're just like snap snagging everything.
I
That
bet
deck,
Vapor Snag was the reason we didn't have a horrifying infect season though.
partly, like, or the fact that, you know, the removal was good.
Hmm,
We
that's-
had Lightning Bolt.
wow.
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt in Standard.
Yeah, it was great. And then they replaced it with Searing Spear next year.
Small loss.
It's a small change, but it takes a card from like modern playable to not.
True, but I mean, I was very excited when we got Lightning Strike last year.
That's because
Like far
it
more
showed,
excited than I should have been.
Yeah, it's because it showed that Wizards had some sort of sense in giving us Lightning Strike.
Although Red did go on to take over Standard.
It usually does at the start of a format.
Well,
And
we're a couple months in now.
that's only because Chain Whirler is a silly card.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and
on the bright side, there's not going to be much to support Chain Whirler soon enough.
yeah, because it all rotates. Like, what are you going to do? Play Legion Guildmage? Like, a 2/2 for 2.
Or if I want to play my Swiftblade Vindicator.
What on earth is that?
So, it's red-white for a creature, human soldier, with double strike, vigilance, trample, and it is a 1/1.
Okay, so in Limited, you can't attack with it until turn 4.
Yeah, when you're attacking with something else that's probably expendable.
Yeah, because you
And has Mentor.
Yeah, you need to attack with this and a Mentor guy. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
But it has double strike, vigilance, and trample.
That's a lot of keywords. And
Yeah, it's like one-off having Atraxa level of keywords.
so what do we
And
need?
we all know you play Atraxa for your lifelink, death touch, flying, and vigilance, not for the proliferate.
Not for the horrific Super Friends or the fact it puts you in 4 colours in Commander so you can just do whatever you like without a deck building constraint.
Yeah, you can play All Sums Dawn and get like almost full value.
I hate you so much.
As you should. That is not a sentence anyone should have ever uttered.
Okay, so I've got 2 cards I really want to talk about.
Alright, sure, let's get down to it.
Cool, I'm going to start with Affectionate Indrik.
Affectionate Indrik.
Yeah.
What does Affectionate Indrik do?
Okay, so it's 5 and a green for a 4/4 beast.
Sure.
And when it enters, you may have it fight target creature you don't control.
Oh,
I don't want to talk.
affectionate.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this card because of its playability. Like, it's going to be a nice limited guy. But I want to talk about the flavor text and the art.
That is certainly
It's
some art. Is it
actually-
biting his arm?
No. He's headbutting him. He's nuzzling in.
Oh,
Except he's too big, so he's going to knock him off that bridge.
Oh no.
Have you read the flavor text?
The problem isn't the Indrik's enthusiasm, it's Ravnica's lack of guardrails.
He's just so nice. And look at the feet of the Indrik. Like, he's got all like cats and stuff surrounding him and rubbing up against him. He's just a big, lovable idiot.
This confirms there are cats on Ravnica.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's cats, elephants, Indriks, horses, wolves, lizard men.
Ravnica's a strange place.
Yeah.
I knew about the lizard man. Have you seen the art for Garrison Sergeant, though, speaking of the Viashino? He looks so derp. He's a
was it-
Boros card. Free red-white for a creature, Viashino soldier. He has double strike as long as you control a gate, and he's a free.
All right. Sure.
But he just looks funny.
It's the
Like,
eyes.
I'm not talking about the playability. It's just, yeah, he looks so derp.
The eyes are just like, hey, how you doing? I'm the sergeant.
That man got promoted to sergeant.
That man got promoted to sergeant because of who his dad is.
Good on him.
Good on him.
You stick in there. You might die, but
what do you mean might?
well, he probably will in the events to come. You know those main character deaths we were talking about?
It's
I
him.
expect the first one will be this guy, yeah.
It's definitely this guy. Has he got any like cool flavor text, or has that not been translated yet?
I don't... Oh no, he does have flavor text, it just hasn't been translated.
Boo.
Damn Russians.
So, apart from Affectionate Indrik, he's
Mhm.
just adorable. Can I talk about Night of Autumn, where it's going to be in Standard?
Let's talk about Night of Autumn. Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
so apparently Rex Sage isn't good enough anymore.
Now, do you want to just read Rex Sage for those few people who might not know? It's a really good card.
So, Rex Sage is your 2 and a green, 2/1 elf? Probs. Yeah, almost
shaman, yeah.
almost certainly an elf. But just when it enters, you get to naturalize.
Naturalize on a stick.
Yeah, it's like
Just generic, but it's good.
nice staple in basically every format, apart from
Well, apart from Pauvre.
vintage. Apart from
I could see some weird vintage deck go. Anyway, that's not the point.
just going like turn 1 Black Lotus, blow up their mocks.
Ugh.
It's not good.
Ugh.
It's not good. Then you've got a 2/1 that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but you know, vintage players. Someone's tried it.
No, people try Arlin Cord in vintage, which is my favourite thing about the
Hmm.
format.
Anyway, back to the Night of
So
Autumn. Though.
Night of Autumn is 1 a green and a white for a 2/1 Dryad Knight. So it's got
pretty cool flavor, pretty cool types.
Yeah, so you can play it alongside your History of New Benalia or whatever it's called that makes knights and pumps knights.
No, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get sidetracked onto knights. Fucking hell. But when this lad enters the battlefield, even though it's a lady on the card,
It is in fact.
you get to choose one. You can either destroy an artifact or an enchantment, or you can gain 4 life.
Yeah, so now you've got good game against burn and affinity.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good card. We could
Or-
stop there.
No. Or you can put 2+1/+1 counters on it and have a 3-mana 4/3.
Are you saying that if either of those modes are obsolete, I can just make it a 4/3?
Yeah.
That sounds perfectly fine.
And remember, what cars are going to be left in standard that people want to play?
I think there will be
None.
any cars left in standard at one point. Yeah.
There's going to be 2 cars, I think.
Yeah, but there'll be the pirate ships.
Yeah.
Now, bonus points if you can remember what any of the pirate ships did.
There was no.
I barely remember that saying something.
I
remember good cards.
There's, I don't know, one where when it deals combat damage, it flips. It's some sort of galleon.
Yeah, it's after it attacks. I'm pretty certain.
Oh.
It was a 2/8 with crew 4. Anyway, not a good card. Not one that you're going to see very often at standard PPTQs or higher.
If you do,
I wouldn't worry about that.
If you do, you get to high five that guy, and if he beats you, even just takes a game off you, you have to sell all your cards and start playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's a rule.
It's in the Oracle text of the card.
Yeah,
it's great. I'll show you a screenshot later.
See it here on Mythic Spoiler, but you can definitely. That's definitely part of the text. Beyond standard, though, because I don't think there are many good artifact targets in standard. Although there might be some enchantments.
Yeah,
do you think this lands for sort of Abzan junkie decks in modern?
I'm not sure. So in modern, this is a 3-drop, so it's competing with Kitchen Finks. Would you rather this or Kitchen Finks in a mid-range deck?
Okay, so here's my problem. Night of Autumn has the same sort of gain against life gain decks.
Yeah,
well, almost, because it gains you the 4 life.
It's 4 life on 1 body rather than 4 life on kind of 2 bodies.
3. Yeah, it's 4 life. 4 life on 2 bodies, 5 power over 2 bodies.
Yeah,
sort of. It's an interesting one because let's put this out there. Hollow 1 is an artifact creature.
Yes, he is.
Affinity is a thing. Having artifact hate in the main board on a card that's versatile is good. This probably would be a sideboard. This is something you add to your toolbox of cards that you can throw into your green black X or green black white in this case.
Heck, you're if you're playing a Dan Hughes style green white value pile.
Yeah, that's the exact kind of pile I'm thinking of.
What are you doing? Well, I've got Chord of Callings and Collected Companies, and I've got one of these in the main, one in the sideboard. I've got some game.
Okay.
Do you want a strict 2-for-1 against Affinity? If Pod had this, it'd be insane.
If Pod was still a deck, this is the kind of card that you would see.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of archetype we're talking about. It's Podless Pod, whatever that is in the current days.
Not good, sadly.
Really a thing, but it became a thing again. This is the kind of card you're looking at.
Definitely. Just seeing this card makes me want to play Abzan next standard.
So I can see what you mean there, yeah.
Because your Abzan standard deck has to be base green. Because you've got your 2 green shocklands.
You do.
So it means that you've got ridiculously easy access to turn 1 for an untapped green to make a Llanowar Elf.
Which is pretty amazing.
To just pull yourself ahead. And so then on turn 2, you get to make this guy or the 3-mana double explore guy. Jade Light Ranger, I think it is.
That is the one.
So you get these 2 guys as ridiculous value 3-drops. You get to play all the removal in the world. You get to play Cast Down, Braska's Contempt. You get to play the new green-black Assassin's Trophy.
Oh yeah, that's the next card we have to talk about.
Yeah, you get to play a lot of stuff. I think in our group chat, I went a bit mental on this card last night.
And rightly so. We're saying Reclamation Sage is a card that we've, always respected.
Yeah.
Probably not a modern staple, but it's definitely a card you could see around in Elves decks, in these kind of green-black X decks.
Yeah, so
here you've got this.
Also in this, just Abzan deck, you get access to like Chupacabra, the new Vraska, the old green-black Vraska, Karn. You can play.
I don't think you're playing the new one, but the old one.
Maybe you can play Carnage Tyrant, Lyra, Shalai. You've got infinite options.
Going into a mid-rangey standard.
Too right.
From that kind of talk.
God, yeah.
I mean, that would be interesting. Be better than the kind of stuff we've had.
This would just be a deck that would sit and like outfare people with just like sheer card value.
Just throw your fairness.
Yeah, you literally say, look at how good my cards are.
Now try and beat them.
Now try and beat them. Like I've got the best removal and the best rares and a couple of mythics. Like it's a typical like standard mid-range deck, like Grixis is at the moment,
exactly.
where you just go like, yeah, I've got some Champion of Wits, some Siphoners, some Bolus, and then all the removal spells.
The Teamer decks were doing at one point as well.
Yeah,
they were just like, look at all my value. It'll definitely have a home somewhere. It might go under the radar for a little while, but it will find its way.
Yeah, it might be that deck that's just like missing a piece.
And we'll have to see what the rest of the format looks like, because losing red is going to be a very large hit. A lot of things are going to open up that possibly couldn't have existed before.
Well, so I think apart from Chain Whirler and Rekindling Phoenix, all of the red deck rotates.
Yeah, we're losing Hazoret, we're losing Glorybringer, we're losing Chandra. You know, the big payoffs for being in that deck.
Yeah, like even like Arncrop Crasher, Bomat Courier, Scrap Heap Scrounger.
You're losing your last one drop. I mean, I don't know if there's anything here in the board. There's a Goblin with Mentor, but I don't think that's really replacing Bomat Courier.
No, not at all. Like Goblin Banneret is not getting there.
There might be something you can do once we see all the Boros cards, but I don't think it's really going to be a thing.
Because we're just coming to the end of week 1 of spoilers.
Yeah, we are just coming to the end of week 1. We have currently got 129 cards of Guilds of Ravnica.
Wow, and this is going to be like how big a set?
It is 259 cards. So we've got just under half.
Yeah.
No, about half. Yeah, I'd say exactly half, more or less. Don't read into the numbers. But
I'm not going to.
5, 6, 7. I think we have about 7 mythics. Oh no, 8, 9 mythics so far. So we've gone through quite a lot of the mythics.
Like have we had all the
both the planeswalkers, I think.
Yeah, we've got both. They've confirmed there's only 2 walkers this set and 3 next one. So that
speaking of those walkers, do you want to go through them right now?
Yes, because I'm really, really divided on Ral Zarek.
Yeah, he's the one I think we should be talking about. So Ral Zarek is 3 blue-red for a legendary planeswalker. Surprise, surprise, Ral. He starts with 5 loyalty. +1 is look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. It's card advantage. It's mid-rangey.
Yep.
I like it.
It's almost a better sleight of hand. Yeah. Because
I can see it.
With like Surveil and stuff, you want to be chucking stuff in the bin.
Well, then this also works with his -3, which is Ral Zarek deals damage to target creature equal to the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. And in exile.
And in exile, yeah.
It's likely going to get you small to sometimes large creatures off the board.
It's going to ideally be used to get rid of like Lyras.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
It's like instead of drawing a card, I'll just kill your Lyra this turn for free.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that's the place you want to be. But then this does mean you are quite a spells heavy deck.
Yeah.
Maybe less of a mid range.
We just put him in the current Grixis.
Lightning strikes and things.
Yeah, we just put him in like the current Grixis control list.
Yeah, it's like a 2 of top end.
Yeah. And then
I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, because I'm really split on this card because I look at it and go, it's a 5-mana planeswalker with the abilities. Like it has
the abilities.
It has card draw, removal, and then something that wins the game.
This is kind of a trend we've seen over the last couple of years. Where,
since
if
they
you compare
printed
this card to Ob Nixilis from, I can't remember if it was Battle for Zendikar.
Yep.
His +1 was draw a card, lose life. -3, destroy a creature. -8 was effect that will probably win you the game.
Yeah,
very similar to this card actually.
And also the Vraska. And
what the Ixalan one? Oh no, you're thinking about the original Vraska.
And the Ixalan one and the new one.
They're very similar in the way they work.
Yeah.
They've sort of the Planeswalker code is a thing they've figured out.
Like heck, the original Ral kind of did it. I'm bored of it.
Sort of.
I don't want different variations on draw a card, kill a man, win game. Like that's really dull.
It is dull. I mean, this guy might see some play, but then Obnixos didn't see too much. It's not the most exciting card in the world, but it will do something, you know?
So, like, on Mythic Spoiler, like, the first comment from Mr. Murigank Jar, he's basically hit it on the head. It's just going, Grixis players don't have a Teferi. Well, now they do.
Yeah.
They have a card draw guy and a removal guy.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Teferi also fits this pattern.
Yeah.
Plus, draw a card, minus, kill a thing, ultimate, win the game.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather your cards were boring or just bad?
Well,
because I have a strong opinion about Vraska.
Everyone will always take boring. What are you feeling about Vraska? Like,
okay. If you are fully set up, you know, she works in a similar way. Her plus is card advantage. Her minus destroys creatures.
Her minus is abrupt decay.
Now, okay, let's read Vraska. Vraska Golgari Queen is 2 green black. Cheaper, okay. 4 converted mana, 4 loyalty, sorry. +2, you may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, you gain 2 life and gain a life and draw a card.
Yeah, sure.
This can be good. If you are working with that sacrifice ability, it's really good.
I'm going to be sacrificing like my Stitcher suppliers, my Narcomoebas.
I'm not saying that can't work, but it does take a lot more build around. This isn't just going to get shoved into your mid-range deck that we're talking about, the green-black one, you know? Which is kind of what I want from Vraska. You're not just throwing this in with your Knight of Autumn.
The 4-mana Planeswalker that draws cards that goes with your Knight of Autumn is Karn.
Oh, that would be... Yeah, that's definitely Karn. Because Karn is very good, and he holds that slot at the moment. That's what Vraska has to compete for.
So all of the 3-mana decks in Standard that want like a mid-range card draw walker have access to Karn.
Go for Karn.
Why would you not just play Karn?
And maybe that says that Karn's very good as opposed to Vraska's very bad, but...
It says that a 4-mana one-sided Howling Mine is really good. Like...
Alright, Seth.
A 4-mana one-sided Howling Mine that cannot be killed by Knight of Autumn. Haha!
We cracked the code.
I've cracked it.
What the mid-range deck is missing.
Yeah, and it is.
So the -3 is abrupt decay, and then the -9 is whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. You know, it's more win the game effects.
Yeah, it's.
But I just don't see her having a huge role to play in the upcoming Standard because of that. You know, having a situational ability over Karn's I can do this ability is very meh.
Yeah, like I think this is the walker for like the bug like Narcomoeba deck.
Oh god, please tell me you don't think that's going to be a thing.
I think so. I was talking to Lewis last night, and I think this is a deck because you get to play like Stitcher Supplier, Narcomoeba, the new 6-mana Golgari Legend, like a billion eyes or whatever it's called.
Izoni, 1000 eyes.
Yeah.
2 black, green for a legendary creature. Elf Shaman, Undergrowth. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each card in your graveyard. Green and a black, sacrifice another creature. You gain a life and draw a card, and it's a 2/3.
Yeah, so
it makes me think of Spider Spawning, but like a bit more fixed.
Yeah, so you get to play like this, your Desecrated Tomb. So whenever like a creature leaves your bin, you
get a bat.
Yeah, you get to.
What that one did?
Yeah, whenever one or more creatures leaves your bin, you get a bat.
Okay.
So you also get to play like Journey to Eternity, like
Oh,
all the Explore guys.
okay.
You get.
This deck seems very cute though.
Oh, it's so value filled. It's
Mm.
like the deck's mono value.
I mean,
You know what?
Narcomoeba does work with your explores and things, I
Yeah.
guess.
This
but-
bug deck has a really good matchup against the Abzan deck that I've been brainstorming.
So you're saying maybe if this Absan deck kicks off, we get this
You get this.
pile of whatever.
You get this
coming in.
rad bug pile. Yeah.
Well, you know what both these two decks will have in common, and probably quite a few decks in the weeks to come.
Is it Assassin's Trophy?
It is Assassin's Trophy. Do you want to read Assassin's Trophy for us?
I think. Oh, come with me on this journey. What would you like a green-black instant in a Ravnica set to do?
Oh, well, I mean, I love destroying permanents with converted mana cost 3 or less non-land, and I love them being unable to be countered, but do take me on this journey.
Okay, so what's the worst thing about Abrupt Decay? Like, if it was in Standard right now? That's
Well,
right.
It's probably the fact that it's limited. Like, you can only destroy things up to 3.
Heck, even the worst thing about it in Modern is that you can't kill a Khan, right?
Sure.
Because you're there playing Jund, you're there like, oh, turn 3, oh, make this scavenging
How do I
ooze.
beat Khan?
You're like, yeah, I just make like this scavenging ooze or a kitchen finks, and they go third Tron land Khan. You're like, well, abrupt decay's not going to do a lot. So
No.
yeah, we can get rid of that 3 or less clause. It's not even non-land anymore. Just blow up a permanent. But then they do get to search for a basic and put it on the battlefield. Oh wait, it's put it onto the battlefield, not even tapped.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's something I didn't notice.
Well, I mean, even then though, like, look
Oh,
at this card.
no. How much can we tax basics in this standard? Because we've got like Assassin's Trophy and Field of Ruin.
In theory, I guess you can do it.
How slow can we make a control deck? Crucible of Worlds is in standard?
Okay, well,
Is it?
I'll leave this kind of brewing for some idiot on YouTube, you know? Like,
We're gonna check back in with Saffron
that's
Olive
not
in
what-
about a week.
yeah, that's not what I'm here to talk about Assassin's Trophy. Look
Oh.
at Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah.
Look at how powerful this spell is. This got to be a modern staple, right? I mean, obviously, there are the pros and cons of Abrupt Decay, right? Like, you're probably not playing one over the other exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the Inquisition Forces.
Yeah.
Like, both are very powerful spells. You got to measure what the format looks like and see which one's better. But it's definitely going to have a home. I mean, hopefully the £27 price tag goes down, but you know,
It should do.
see what happens. Yeah, it should do with the release of this set. But I don't think it'll go too low, you know?
No,
A lot of Jund players out there want their deck to be playable, given how much money they've spent on it.
yeah, like this card is going to settle at like 10.
I could see that.
This is going to be a £10 card, similar to Abrupt Decay.
But it depends on how much play it sees in standard, though. If our standard format does twist into mid-range, this card's going to be cool. It's not going to be cheap. I can tell you that.
Like, this card's going to see like infinite play week 1.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to be there like, well, what do I want to do? Oh, there's no reason to play red, and green black has got all this removal. So
Here's the green black rock decks.
Here's the green black rock decks. Like I've just discussed 2.
Something that really grinds my gears
Uh-oh.
and gets me on about rarity. You know what's coming.
Oh no.
Do you know the name of this card?
No, Dan, I barely know the name of cards in standard, let alone
okay.
something that's not come out yet.
Alright, this card is Narcomoeba. Narcomoeba is
Oh,
a great
God.
card. It got printed originally Future Sight. It's an illusion for 1 and a blue, flying. When it's put into your graveyard from your library, you may put it onto the battlefield. It's a 1/1. Now, you were talking about it in the guise of the Sultai deck earlier.
Yeah.
This card's good. It sees some play. It's a 50-cent card. And it sees play in constructed formats. It's not a crazy limited card. And yet here we are, seeing it at rare.
Go on.
Why has this gone up in rarity?
Okay, so it was an uncommon in
If anything, I
Future
would have
Sight.
thought- Yes, admittedly, Future Sight was a very confusing set with lots of stuff going. Well, Time Spiral Block, because I can't remember if it was exactly Future Sight. But why is it a rare? Like, sure, Surveil is a mechanic in the set. That's something you need to look into. But
Yeah.
is the payoff of the 1/1 flyer so powerful that it couldn't have been an effect we'll see in the format?
It's free. You can't give players free shit. And also, there's a small amount of money to be made if you put this at rare.
That's the problem.
It's a moderate chase card, and Wizards got to make money. Hasbro got to
That's
make
fair.
money.
No, I don't agree at all. And they already have. Look at this set. We have Shocklands. We have Chromatic Lantern for you Commander players out there. We have, we have Night of Autumn, like you said. We have Assassin's Trophy. There's a card we're going to go on to talk about, Secrets of the Mausoleum, that I think will be a very good one for Commander as well. There is money in this set.
What on earth is that?
Secrets of the Mausoleum.
Yeah.
It is 1 and a black for an instant, and it has Undergrowth. And you search your library for a black card.
Oh, it's the
Converted mana
tutor.
cost less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. It is
Yeah.
an instant speed tutor for black cards.
Nice.
Obviously, it has a little bit of a build around, but
Tutor
that's
up
another
my
card
living
that's
end.
probably
Tutor up
gonna
my
be-
living end.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be another card that will see some play. It's not going to be expensive, but it's not going to be cheap either. So if the money's not coming in from the shocks, why the hell is it coming in from Narcomoeba,
Greed.
Yeah, it's silly. I don't think it should be a rare. It's the kind of cards that if I saw a Masters set, I wouldn't be surprised if it had been downshifted to common. You know?
You want to give people just like free 1/1 flyers in limited.
Yeah.
Just have them.
The only reason I wouldn't put it down to common is because there's got to be something you can do with it in Pauper, with Dredge and things being in that format. But
yeah, there's almost certainly everything you can do with that card in Pauper.
Exactly. But why rare here? It doesn't make any sense.
Wizards don't want to give you free stuff. They want to give you strangely powerful stuff.
But
and that's what you get. Like 2 mana 7/8.
2 mana 7/8.
I don't know. Well, they printed a 1 mana 4/4, so.
No, they did print a 2 mana 8/4 at one point.
What?
Hunted Horror?
Oh yeah, Hunted Horror doesn't count.
Yeah, it kind of does. It is a 2 mana 8/4.
Nah. But yeah, can we talk?
That was in Ravnica. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't an 8/4. It was a 7/7. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Heck, even look at like Venerated Loxodon.
Is this the Convoke put a +1/+1 counter on you guys?
Yeah. So it's
4
and a white for a 4/4 with Convoke. On ETB, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature that convoked it. And convoked it is really weird to see on a card.
Yeah. Do you remember? I mean, he's not quite rotated yet, but do you remember Verdurous Gearhulk?
Yes.
Yeah. 3 green, put 4 +1/+1 counters divided as you choose on creatures.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this has the downside of they had to have convoked for it, but
yeah,
it's very easy to make it into an anthem. It'll definitely be a very powerful card in limited as well.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna like see this guy in limited and then lose next turn.
Yeah, like
your opponent's gonna say
the mirror entity or whatever of this format. Like
your opponent's gonna
kill me now.
Your opponent's gonna say like, "What life total you on? How many men you got?"
My favorite kinds of questions.
Yeah, like
the ones that make you sweat.
Just like in the middle of the game, they're like, "How many cards in hand?" And you're like, 2. Why? Oh, don't worry about it. Like, what do you mean, don't worry about it? And then like 2 minutes later, you're dead because they've been in the tank doing some weird combat maths.
Yeah, this is the kind of card you're going to see in the deck where you're always like, oh, they just have it all.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have their Night of Autumn into their generated Loxodon. And
Too right, they will.
I mean, to be fair though, this is the kind of format. I mean, you and I are planning to go to GP Liverpool later this year with some of our friends, and it will be this format, you know, flying around on the shelves in the events.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a fun one. Like, last one I went to was Rivals, and I kind of got tired of Rivals very fast. But not to say Rivals was a bad set,
but it just wasn't the set you wanted.
Yeah, I think the tribes made it quite limiting on what you could do.
Yeah, Wizards themselves have kind of admitted only doing 4 tribes. It was a worthwhile experiment, but it failed.
In a draft, it was a single elimination draft, and I went out in round 1, mana problems. But like I get past Legion's Lieutenant as like my second pick after picking the Vampiric Tutor guy.
Fine.
So I've got the 2 and a white search for a vampire. I've got the white-black vampire lord. I'm picking up a couple crap vampires. Pack 2 and 3. There is not a vampire in sight. And I'm just like, well, you know, I can't switch. Like, what can I do?
I'm locked in. I've got to like try and pick up some of the pirates.
Yeah, I'm picking up like random 2-drops, like bits of removal every now and then. Like somehow I managed to get a Chupacabra, but like, you know, I didn't ever cast it because mana. But you know, it was a lot of feel bad situations like that drafting where it's like, well, I didn't lose this draft because of skill. Like, I knew that this wasn't open. I knew I should have switched. It's just that there was no functional way to do so. Yeah, exactly.
You had to play a wanky half deck where you either like take some pirates with no payoff, or you take some dinosaurs that don't interact with vampires in the slightest.
Exactly.
Like,
and the way a set like Ravnica works, though, with the guild gates especially, is that you tend to not be in a specific guild. You tend to be in like 3 colors.
Yeah.
You're just splashing for like your best cards. You might get lucky and end up in 2 colors, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, like you have to really lock in and like hope that people see your signal and leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah, that was the problem that Rivals had, and there was nothing you could really do about that, which was what made it a bit of a pain. Yeah, but hey, this will be a better format to play, right?
It should be like.
I mean, it's looking that way already.
Yeah, there's one thing that irks me.
Interesting stuff going on.
There's one thing that irks me about it. Ravnica's about the guilds.
Yeah.
And the guilds all have guild mages, right?
Right, yes.
So can we please talk about the guild mages?
Yes, we can.
And
so the new cycle of guild mages are all named after like the title of the guild. So like you have the House Stingmere, the Golgari Swarm, the Izzet League.
House Guild Mage. They've all got really cool names.
Guild Mages are terrible names.
It's awful.
Have, like,
that's the thing, you get like Legion Guild Mage, League Guild Mage,
Syndicate Guild Mage,
House Guild Mage. Which we all keep misreading as Horse Guild Mage, which would be infinitely better, because it'd just be like Bojack Horseman. So usually your guild mages have got like decent like mid-rangey abilities that are like repeatable, just abilities that you can activate for mana.
Yeah.
Now they've got
for
these.
For example, the original Selesnya guild mage is just green-white hybrid, and it had 2 abilities: 3 and a green, make a 1/1; 3 and a white, all your creatures get +1/+1.
Yeah.
Very powerful limited card.
And so like you look at Nivik's guild mage from Return to Ravnica block. So he was like 1 a blue and a red to loot, and then like 2 a blue and a red to copy an instant or sorcery you control.
Yeah,
it's like
that was it.
So these are just like cool abilities. Like some of them are always more powerful than others, because that's the way Magic works out. But
the second cycle of guild mages were all like 2 free drops though, from my recollection. Like
they were all 2 drops.
Yeah.
So a guild mage is always a 2/2 for 2. They're always bears.
Well, the original cycle wasn't, but this cycle and the Return to Ravnica Gatecrash cycle were.
Now the new ones were in that there's no design space area, because so you look at League Guild Mage this time, which has really cool art, but it's like
it does. It was featured in the trailer.
Yeah, but it's like 3 and a blue and tap to draw a card. It's like
I remember Azure Mage.
Yeah,
Azure Mage was a great card.
Yeah, I remember Azure Mage. Great.
Yeah.
And then you've got like X red tap, copy an instant or sorcery you control with CMC X. You can choose new targets for the copy. Like, okay, these abilities are.
That is clunky.
Yeah, all the abilities we've seen on the guild mages are like strictly okay. Like on our favorite Horse Guild Mage, like 1 a blue tap, target creature doesn't untap during its next untap step. Like it's just a freeze. It doesn't untap it. It doesn't tap it down to start with.
I was complaining about that fact, but at the same time, I think this might still be the best guild mage we've had yet. I mean, Legion Guild Mage has got a 5 and a red ability.
Swarm Guild Mage wins the game.
Okay, the Swarm Guild Mage has 1 good ability. 4 and black, your creatures get menace, and +1/+0. Yeah. That relies on you having a good board, and the second ability is 1 and a green, gain 2 life. Which will matter.
This will matter. Like if you've stalled out. If your Golgari deck, if your green-black mid-range deck in Limited has stalled out, you're just like, gain some life, gain some life, gain some life, win.
But that Swarm Guild Mage, both of its abilities care about being in a board stall. Like, neither of them are doing much for you if you're behind. And if you're ahead, you probably didn't need the first ability anyway. And the second ability you certainly don't need.
No. So it's
then, they're not supposed to be all-round amazing cards.
So it's like...
But the previous guild mages have sort of set us up for that, because the previous guild mages have been very good cards. Yeah,
they were ubiquitous with your limited archetype.
Their mana costs were a lot cheaper, and the fact they didn't tap was huge.
Yeah. So this time round, I feel like they're probably still going to be good, but we have to evaluate them differently. So,
definitely.
They're no longer guild mages. I need you to get up any of the guild mages from this set. Just like get the card out and copy it into Paint for me.
Okay. I don't know where you're going with this, but
okay, just
Conclave Guild Mage.
Why are you not just doing like copy, open, paint, paste?
Because I'm not that tech savvy. And I've lost it. What is the point of this?
Okay, so you know where it says Guild Mage?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to scrub a line through that.
Got it.
But currently it's now just Legion nothing.
Oh, it's Conclave nothing, but yeah.
Conclave nothing. Oh, cool. So you're going to replace it with Invoker. How much better does that card read?
So
if you
Conclave Invoker.
If you evaluate it as an Invoker, how much better does it seem?
Conclave Invoker, green-white for a creature, elf cleric, uncommon. Tap. Green and tap. Creatures you control gain trample until under 10. That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then 5 and a green, tap, create a 2/2 green and white elf knight token creature.
Yeah.
With vigilance. And it's 2/2. I mean, really good in a board stall. I mean, the green is going to get you through some damage. I mean, this is one of the better guild invokers. But yeah.
Like, we need to evaluate them as invokers, because when you take
Guild
away...
Mage clouds your eyes.
Yeah. When you take away the fact it says Guild Mage, you go, oh, these cards are actually okay. They're not role players anymore. They're a guy and then a mana sink.
Yeah.
And so, like,
it's just...
And then you look at the mana rocks. Like, look at the mana rocks. We've got the lockets. So we've got Boros, Dimir, Golgari, and Selesnya. 3 mana rocks.
I'm a big fan of the lockets, though.
Yeah. 3 mana rocks. They tap for either colour. And then they've got 4 hybrid mana. Tap and sack, draw 2 cards. That is a mana sink.
Yeah, this is a strict upgrade on the clue stones, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because drawing 2 cards is huge, especially when you can do it off of a mana rock.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, that cost is a real something. You're not just going to be like, okay, I'm nearly dead here. I need to, like, crack my clue stone to figure out if I have anything. Like, that's not going to happen. But you will get to the point where you're like, right, I don't need this mana anymore.
This is the halfway. This is the halfway point between Mindstone and Dreamstone Hedron.
Okay.
And
pretty good.
Those cards, especially like Dreamstone Hedron, just like fine in limited, like especially a 3 mana rock in like what looks like a slower limited format.
Especially one that's very colourful.
Yeah.
Like, you look at these uncommon 4-drops that are like double with one colour, double with another.
Heck, look at Niv Mizzet, triple red, triple blue. Like
I think he'll be the outlier here, but it's definitely a thing.
The format looks slower. Like, admittedly, we've not got the classic like limited resources
podcast just yet.
Cycle of commons yet, or like cycle of uncommons, and they usually tell us a lot about what's going on. But
yeah,
like when you've got
what you mean the normal sort of like gold cards?
Yeah,
as a
cycle. Where they give Marshall like 5 gold uncommons or like 5 on color commons.
It's been a trend the last kind of 2-3 years. You see it on limited resources. They start with the 10 gold uncommons in a set for each color pair, because the way Wizards make their sets, they've started using those as sort of
a signpost
of what those cards want to do. Now the problem with Ravnica is half the cards are going to be gold cards.
Yeah,
because that's just what Ravnica is. So it's going to be harder to find those clear waystones. But then again, the guilds are it's very obvious what they want to be doing, right?
Like the fact you have 5 mechanics, that's your signposts for what each color does.
Yeah, you have your watermarks, you have your guilds, you know what's going on. Even like some of these monocolored mythics like Dream Eater and Doom Whisperer, not only do they have the Dimir mechanic on them, they have the watermark.
Yeah,
like they may not be blue-black, but they're sort of saying like
you've got a lot of like non-text signposting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think this format's going to be slow, mate, because we've got these like 3 mana rocks with a 4 mana ability to draw cards. These like double of each color uncommons.
It really comes down to what this Boros deck looks like, or the Selesnya deck actually, because both of those look like they could be quite aggressive. They could have those curve out into a win.
So we will not get a combat tapper apart from
Legion Guildmage.
Apart from our Legion Guildmage in this set, or like we'll probably get like a common where when it attacks it jumps a friend.
Yeah,
like we'll get that as a Boros card, but we are not going to get like star thingy stag from the core set. You're not going to get that in this set. That's going to wait until Azorius in like 4 months' time.
Like this is definitely not going to be Amonkhet speeds.
No,
it's going to be slower. You just don't have those powerful creatures. you have some decent cards here. Like I look at Fresh Faced Recruit. It's a 2/1 that has first strike if it's your turn. Pike is always good. I think every other card mentioned here in the Boros section, it has Mentor. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 Boros cards, and at least 8, 9 of them have Mentor or care about being mentored onto.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is that this is the same as with Return to Ravnica. In Return block, Return to Ravnica was the slow set.
Right.
So, because you had...
it would definitely seem that
you
way with
had
the guilds we have.
Azorius, Selesnya, Dimir...
Rakdos... No, Dimir was Gatecrash.
No, you didn't get Dimir. Azorius, Rakdos, Golgari, Selesnya, and...
Rakdos was the aggressive deck in that format.
Yeah.
Because so you had Azorius, Izzet, Rakdos, Golgari, Selesnya. So
Yeah.
the real difference here is that what they've done this time is they've switched Rakdos and Azorius out for Boros and Dimir.
So like, and that format was kind of defined by the fact that Bant was like impossibly slow.
Yeah, you've got all
the
these
green
Azorius control cards.
Yeah, and then like all your
Green-white.
gummy green-white tokens, guys. The Golgari deck's not particularly quick.
This was the set with Populate and
Detain.
Mechanic.
The Golgari mechanic was Scavenge, so that promoted you doing
Scavenge
something in
was
the late
not-
game.
Scavenge was not a particularly powerful mechanic. Looking at the cards, like
No.
it was fine.
Yeah.
Also, like we had cards like Lotleth Troll in this set. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever played against those.
No, I played with Lotleth Troll. Like I played it.
Yeah,
It in standard dredge, mate. Where I was there, like, yeah, Lotleth Troll and whipping back like Shadowborn demons.
It's quite the experience. It's you know.
It was that was some tech. So once again, I feel like the first set is the slow one and the second one is quick.
You reckon the second one?
Yeah, because
Okay, so, like,
Return to Ravnica,
guilds-
it had Gruul, it had Boros, it had Simic, and all three of them were like quick. They were combat oriented. In Ravnica,
we also had Orzhov and Dimir in that format.
Yeah, Dimir was bad, and Orzhov was the slow deck.
So, like, looking this time around, we're going to have Azorius, Gruul, Simic, Rakdos, Orzhov.
Yeah, so you've got Rakdos, Gruul, and
Will-
Simic being the aggro decks. Like, heck, even depending on what the story's like, Azorius, because it'll have its tappers.
Okay. I just think, like, a combination of Azorius and Orzhov making an Esper deck exist in the format might be enough to slow it down. It also depends on what Rakdos is like, because you look at the Return to Ravnica Rakdos cards, they were surprisingly expensive, a lot of them. And like the things they did wasn't that aggressive. Like you're looking at these crazy big enchantments like Havoc Festival, 6 mana.
It was a silly slow format.
Yeah, like you're looking at Rakdos Ringleader, 4 black, red for an uncommon, first strike, 3/1. Had like it did something with discarding and regenerated, but like it's a 6 mana 3/1.
And then you go like what 3-4 months later, you get to Gatecrash and you've got like Blood Rush, Evolve, Battalion, Cypher, which was bad.
Oh, Cypher was awful.
And then you had Orzhov trying to be in the mid-range deck. You had a fast set and a slow set to complement the fact you had like Gruul and Boros just smacking people. That's where we got like the insanely good removal as well. So we had like stuff like Devour Flesh.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Just an instant speed edict. Okay.
We had things like Pit Fight as well, which was just instant speed fight.
So
there was some good stuff going on.
You immediately see the difference between the two sets.
Mm-hmm.
Like they felt ridiculously different. Like, have you ever blood rushed 2 Gorklan Rampagers onto your Spire Tracer? Or onto your like...
Not quite that. Playing Modern Masters 2017, I have had the enjoyment of blood rushing.
Mate, attack with Sky Knight Legionnaire, blood rush Gorklan Rampager onto it.
Oof.
When your opponent blocks, you're like, cool, Gorklan Rampager, I'm coming through.
Okay.
Like, they block with their bird, and you're like, I'm done.
So your bets are on the second half of the block being very
being
aggressive.
fast. Yeah, this is the fast set. We've got the slow set first, and then we're gonna pick up the pace.
I'm interested to see what direction they take with Simic, because I don't think it will be Evolve again.
No,
but they could be. I mean, the thing is, there's going to be at least one returning mechanic, right? Because like we've had Convoke 3 times in a row from Selesnya. there'll probably be another returning mechanic for one of these guilds.
Yeah, like
and I don't think it's going to be Detain.
No,
I mean, it could be Unleash.
Unleash was fine, but it's very limited in what you can do. Like you can make a
Big
creature
sword.
small or big. Honestly, like best bet, the simplest mechanic and the easiest one that they can do is probably just like Bloodthirst for Gruul.
Yeah.
When I don't want them to, I want them to save it for a core set because it's such a good core set mechanic. Because
it's just one of those things because it teaches you about like combat and like whether you should block. Like,
yeah,
he's gonna get in for this damage, but then there's like a lot of thinking involved.
That's the thing. In like a core set, you get to go, Blood Rush, and it's there you go. It's a color for 3 mechanics. It's a mechanic for 3 colors.
Yeah,
because you can put it in Jund because there's in core sets we've had like vampires with Blood Rush.
Right, yeah.
Which thematically fits really well because they show up and they're like, "Oh, there's blood, is there? Oh, we're here to rumble, boys. We are here to rumble."
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that set, won't we?
Yeah,
but
it's getting close to the time to wrap up because I need to go to work. So I'm going to give you 5-10 minutes to pour your heart out with why you are so upset with the Ravnica Mythic Edition.
Oh, the controversy of the Ravnica Mythic Edition. So, for those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot of you who don't live in the United States, what they're doing with the release of Return to Ravnica 2, Guilds of Ravnica, that's the name.
You'll get there eventually. You are wasting time here.
Hasbro are releasing a 24 booster pack box. In addition, like you can just buy from Hasbro. You cannot buy it from GameStop, or you will eventually be able to once they get a hold of it. But
once they buy it from Hasbro and then distribute them at 700.
Exactly. Now, what's interesting about these 24 pack boxes is, I mean, 1, it's 24 packs. 2, there is 8 Planeswalkers. I think it's 8 that have been shown to us with from the Vault foiling. They are all reprints apart from Ralzaric as Viceroy.
And the new Vraska, the other one.
I don't think the new Vraska is actually amongst them.
Yeah, it is. They showed it off like yesterday when they previewed Vraska.
Oh, okay, right. That must have been the one that was missing then.
Yep.
My apologies.
Like as soon as Ralzaric was in that set, it was an infinite giveaway that the other one was Vraska.
Okay, so in this set of 8 Planeswalkers, there will be 8 boosters in your 24 booster pack box that will be marked. So you know that there will be one of each of these 8 Planeswalkers. Kind of taking away the fun of a booster pack. But we'll get on to why they've marked the packs. But so these 8 Planeswalkers, amongst them, there are a couple duds. There's Duretti, there's the new Vraska, there's the new Ral.
5 of these Planeswalkers are in black. So that's going to fuck your draft when you've got 5 people fighting over black.
And then some of them are Teferi, who is a very good standard, a little bit of modern card at the moment.
What do you mean little bit?
He's seeing some play in modern, right?
I think Blue-White X Control is the best deck in modern right now.
Okay, well then...
It's back, baby.
Then we have some more nostalgic Planeswalkers, like Elspeth, Knight Errant, and Tezzeret that see little play, but not much. And then we have Liliana the Last Hope, who's sort of a green-black rock kind of Planeswalker. Not as good as Liliana of the Veil, but still a priceable card.
So you're gonna first pick your Lily, and then you're gonna like draft blue-black. You're going to mill Narcomoebas.
The problem with this Ravnica Mythic Edition is, I mean, for draft sakes, like you said, most of them are black.
Yeah.
They don't really work with the set. Like, a lot of the cards, like Tezzeret cares a lot about artifacts.
So just Duretti
cares a lot about artifacts. Yeah, like, they're not the best Planeswalkers you possibly could have chosen for this product.
No.
Now, let's get on to the price cards here are Teferi, Liliana, Tezzeret, and probably Nicol Bolas.
Yeah.
So that means the other 4 are probably going to be hard to shift. And this box is, what, $250?
Yep.
It's a lot more than the original box for 12 less boosters. But you do get these guaranteed 8 Planeswalkers. It's just a bit... I mean, the fact that it's from Hasbro, you cannot buy it anywhere else. It's going to be a very limited run. This will be an expensive product. If you want one of these Planeswalkers, it's going to be expensive. Now, here's the catch. If you live outside the United States, you cannot order from Hasbro. Hasbro only do delivery within the United States. Nowhere beyond the United States will get this product. And those in the United States are going to have a hard time finding it because of how desirable it may be. it's a very strange product that seems very money grabbing, and it's had a lot of backlash. Like a lot of the community are questioning why it exists, why it's only being sold by Hasbro, and why we have some questionable inclusions given the price.
So they cancelled From the Vault, which was like a high ticket item that was like running out of steam a lot. Why were the cards in From the Vault lore?
The most notable inclusions were Marit Large and Umezawa's GTA, which were very lawful ones, but then you also had things like Near Death Experience, I think, and the Hell Vault.
Wow.
Which were not good cards. Yes.
From the Vault story spotlight.
That product. Yeah, exactly. Like, you were buying that product for Marit Large most of the time. Like, it was a way to get more Marit Larges on the market without putting it in a draft set. I mean, the one that really stands out to me like a sore thumb among these Planeswalkers is Dureti. Conspiracy 2 was sandwiched between like 3 or 4 other releases. It was Eternal Masters, Eldritch Moon, Kaladesh. It didn't get much time in the sun.
Do you remember the From the Vault like card announcement? From the Vault came out in that as well. Yeah.
That was Law's release.
Where they quietly put an article on Daily MTG that was like, yeah, these are the cards in From the Vault lore. Yeah, that was it. There was no build
going on at the time.
Because usually they devote a week, half a week.
Yeah, this was the time where people were starting to go, hang on a minute, we're living in constant spoiler season. Yeah, and we're seeing it again over the summer with the Commander products now as well.
It was exhausting.
Precons came out like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Honestly, I forgot they came out.
Yeah, exactly. And then before that, we had the core set, which was probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months. So anyway, with Dureti, this set it didn't see much time in the sun, which meant the mythics went up in price. The foils of the mythics went up in price. Leovold and Show and Tell were very good legacy staples. And then, cards like Marchesa and Sylvala, Heart of the Wilds, they see Commander play. They were, your secondary mythics.
Conspiracy 2 was wasn't it like a better Iconic Masters and Iconic Masters?
Yeah, people were like, look, this set has Berserk, it has Show and Tell, it had some really cool cards.
It had Inquisition of Kozilek in it.
It did. It had Inquisition at Rare before Modern Masters 3 happened.
It took Inquisition from being like a $20 uncommon.
Yeah, it definitely
back down to $5.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Modern Masters helped finalize that price, but it showed the way. Now, Dureti was a mythic in this set. Now, Dureti, 1 black-red for a legendary planeswalker, +1, create a +1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token with Defender. -1, sacrifice an artifact. If you do, destroy target artifact or creature. -6, choose target artifact card in the graveyard or artifact on the battlefield. Create 3 tokens that are copies of it, and it started at 3 loyalty. This card, whilst cool, did not stand out amongst these cards.
No, because it was not Kaya and it was not Leovold.
Right, yeah, Kaya. I forgot about Kaya. Kaya had an alternate art foil as well in the set.
Which is still over £100.
Exactly. This set had a lot of, if you were looking to invest at the time, well, like within the couple months that came after, Conspiracy 2 was a good bet because players love conspiracy sets. They love to draft them every now and then, and it had some really good cards in it. Like, you get a foil Leovold, you pay for the box, probably.
Yeah, you do.
And yet, Dureti is the inclusion. I mean, obviously, it's because he's a planeswalker, and I think he and Kaya were the only planeswalkers in the set.
Yeah.
But it makes you think, how much of this Ravnica Mythic Edition box is just paying for these planeswalkers that are honestly not the most excellent collection?
Yeah,
when you could just buy a 36-pack booster box for about $150 cheaper.
Yep. So you worked it out. It's what, like $100 or so for a booster box in America?
Yeah, I think so. Which is about £80 for us.
Yeah, so
something like that.
So we knock it down because you only get 24 packs. So we'd say what, like $80?
Yes, go with that.
So like we take $80 off this $250 price. Do these 8 walkers make £170?
Absolutely not.
Not in the slightest.
I mean, maybe these versions will because of how limited they are.
It doesn't even work with like put a price on fun because I'm
these aren't
sorry.
Going to enhance the experience of drafting the set.
I'm going to have infinitely more fun with just a box.
Yeah, like if you give me a box, £10 each per player, this means that our friends who maybe don't care about Magic as much, don't want to invest as much money in it, will happily sit down and draft. If you want to draft this Ravnica box with your friends, the Mythic version, by all means, you put $30, $40 in each, and you go for it. Like if you can get your hands on it. But these walkers are from the vault foiling, so they're not very nice, and someone is going to get that Duray. Someone walks away from the table with Teferi.
Imagine
if you
paying
give every person a marked back.
Imagine paying $31 and getting the Duretti.
Exactly.
Like
that's absurd.
Like, okay, bye. Like,
and then,
I'm done here.
Say you want to play a modern deck, or God forbid, a standard deck with these cards, and you're not just going to play one of this art. Like,
your matey boy with the Teferi sells his and then buys 2 Teferis.
Exactly.
Your matey boy with the Elspeth sells it and has some fun.
Which tells you this product is not for the person who's trying to look for staples in the format. It's not for the limited drafter. It's price gouging out of collectors' pockets.
Yeah, man. Like, who's this product for?
I find it hard to be sympathetic to, but yeah, it is. It's solely for collectors. It's for North American people with far too much money who want these 8 planeswalkers to stick in a box on a shelf. Possibly not even take out of the original box, just keep the box.
My analogy or comparison is that this product is the Gibson guitars of Magic products. So
it's just
you're not a guitar player. So
no.
Gibson, you've heard of them, right?
I think so.
Just they're one of the big guitar brands. But for the past maybe 10 years or so, they've had a bit of a crisis where they keep pushing out £2,000 plus guitars.
Right.
That
expensive high-tech items.
That are not for players, really. They're to stick on a wall.
And that's what this is.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, Gibson are in a bit of financial trouble. So...
Well, I mean, we laugh about Gibson, but none of us really want Wizards to go down. Like, we complain about Wizards, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
But
it's a Magic player's favourite thing to do.
Them.
No,
yeah.
I just want them to do something sensible.
Complaining about it. Yeah, which is... It seems to be becoming less and less that they're doing sensible things, Like... I mean, there's a whole list that we could go on to, but not right now.
No.
And yeah. So, if you really, really want these planeswalkers, and you live in North America...
Or you have a friend who lives in North America.
Money. Yeah. You go for it. But for me, I'm going to go to that GP. I'm going to play a bunch of events, and I might take a box or 2 home and just draft those.
Nice.
I mean, it's not the value. It's the problem that it's coming just from Hasbro.
Yeah.
They are cutting out the middleman. They are cutting out your local game store, which at the end of the day is something we all should try and support at least,
So what happens? What happens if we doomsay and Hasbro start shipping worldwide just straight from them? Not LGSs anymore. Or there was the option where you can buy straight from Hasbro.
You'll just be playing at PPTQs that will be organized by Channel Fireball, let's say.
Yep.
And GPs that will also be hosted by Channel Fireball because that's a monopoly. But yeah, that's an entirely different issue. Because we've seen it here is GPs have been going up in price because why not?
So
why not up the price? But
yesterday the registration for GP Liverpool went up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So me, Dan, and Pete will need to pay $60 each. Well, £60 each.
To show up and play.
And
no
then...
sealed product involved.
Nope. And then there's the playmat charge.
Right, yes, because it's not included anymore,
nope.
is it?
So
at one point...
The playmats are 13 quid each, or 33 for the set of 3. So
sometimes
before we sign up...
wish you could opt out.
Yeah, before we sign up, we need to see what the playmats are.
Oh,
because
the thing. If you can opt out of the playmat, if it's bad, I remember
I'm all for
Birmingham. I think it was Nimble Obstructionist, and that wasn't that great.
That's great. I love my Nimble Obstructionist playmat. It was mostly because I spent all day one just crushing white weenie players. And just I kept on getting paired up against Eldrazi Tron and green white small men. So I was like, okay, I'm rigged to beat you two.
The last GP London I went to, I can't remember what the rivals mat was, but there was also this really beautiful Mutavault rat going around of the GP promo.
Yeah.
That you could get if you played in certain events, and it was just it kind of outshone whatever the mat was from GP London. I can't even remember. I think it was the Champion of Dusk. Oh no, or it might have been no, it was Champion Dusk. I think
it was from that point where I was paying no attention.
Yeah, exactly.
What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was drinking. That's what I did for those like 6 months. I just went out drinking instead.
It was indeed Champion of Dusk, which was a perfectly fine playmat, but yeah, it's a lot of money to go to a GP, like the travel, the hotel, the just paying to play in events, and it's a lot of money. But back to the point, if you give Wizards that monopoly on product, you're going to lose your local game stores. You're not going to be able to just go and play Friday Night Magic. That's not going to be a thing. Who's going to run Friday Night Magic?
No one.
Exactly. You will just meet up with your friends, if that.
So our parting note for today is
magic is dying.
Is the classic. Roses are red, magic is dying. A black-green creature can have vigilance flying. Cheers, Dan, and I will speak to you.
Bye.
I will speak to you later, dude.